weeks ago, well, it was bonus territory for Anthony Daly's side. No pressure then when taking on Tipperary on their home turf for a place in this year's league final. Your commentator is Ger Canning.
Tipperary beat Limerick here 3 weeks ago by all of 11 points. However, Eamon O'Shea's management team is forced into change because of a combination of factors, including injury. Brendan Cummins returns in goal, Pádraig Maher is now at full-back, Donamar is on the wing and starts today up front for Pa Burke and Jason Ford. Dublin's team announced late on Friday didn't include leading top free taker Paul Ryan. He's been battling the flu. His place at corner forward today goes to Coola's David Tracy. Elsewhere, Anthony Daly will be hoping for another storming performance from centre-back Liam Rush and a bumper return for Conor McCormack and David O'Callaghan. 4:15 between them so far. Match referee Brian Gavin gets the game underway. It's Tipperary who won the toss and they're playing from left to right in the first half. Straight away Danny Sutcliffe for Dublin trying to launch the opening attack down there towards David Tracy. Tracy hitting it in towards the square. Brendan Cummins drops it and requires some assistance to bail him out on this occasion. Tracy once again handheld. It's going to be a free in. And what a start that would have been for Dublin here, with David O'Callaghan in there, lurking with intent. And David Tracy from 20 metres out, taking over the free-taking duty from Paul Ryan, puts it over the bar. So good start for Dublin. Huge occasion for Anthony Daly. He has managed to get the side up into Division 1A next year, and now everything is in bonus territory, I'm sure he will feel. Johnny McCaffrey with this next attack towards Conor McCormack, but it never quite came off this time. Tipperary trying to get the ball away, and there was a challenge there. Not fair shoulder to shoulder, and shoulder into the upper chest, in fact. Midway between the lines, between the 45 and the 65-metre line. Hit in by Noel McGrath. It's gone for length. And what a start that is, with Shane Burke at the end of it. And Tip's opening goal coming in the second minute. Hit in by Noel McGrath, followed in well here by Shane Burke and lashed into the back of that Dublin net. Peter Kelly breaks it out. Onto it very smartly comes Jason Ford, and Jason Ford laying down a marker here in the early minutes of this match. Well, a young player, still under 21, he'll be just 20 this year, got onto the breaks here well, showed a lot of composure and flicked it beautifully over. Dublin flick it around and lose it here to Lar Corbett. Corbett back in once more, beautifully controlled in here by Seamus Calnan. And Calnan has got into full forward from the early stages of this game. Puts that one, glides it indeed over the bar. It's a lovely score. Only made very much himself here. Got out to that ball that was played back in towards him, 35 metres from the target. And another score for Tipperary. Back in here towards Joey Boland, slipping the hand pass for Simon Lambert, and Lambert ends up carrying it out over the line. He was being challenged vigorously, and there's plenty of pressure being applied by Tipperary, and his side is behind by 1-3 to a point already after just 9 minutes of play. Noel McGrath swung beautifully across here. Little block on this one, but it might work out for the Bonner, and Patrick Bonner going through. Goal for Tipperary. The referee seemed to blow his whistle almost just before that ball was going into the back of the net, and he might have been about to give a free, but play did continue. There was an attempted trip. It would have been probably a penalty anyway, but the goal counts, and Patrick Bonner gets his first score in this year's Alliance League. Once again, it's Dublin who are battling to try and win possession, eventually getting that ball away. And that one is a good-looking point from Danny Sutcliffe, and that's their first point to come from play, Dublin. It's taken nearly 13 minutes to produce that. It's 2-3 to 2 points, and it was Danny Sutcliffe, who was one of the stars of last year's Alliance League, and this time emerging out of midfield to put it over. Back it comes once again. Larcorbett this time, almost gliding it over. He's playing some terrific hurling in this year's Alliance League. This is Johnny McCaffrey. Whipped back in by Ford again. And here's another opportunity of goal number 3, and that time Seamus Callanan's effort comes off the goalkeeper. Well, he's got a point, and he very nearly got Tipperary's 3rd goal. Beautifully hit, but the goalkeeper perfectly positioned. Down towards Shane Burke, who got the opening goal of this match and really set the tone from an early stage in this game. Shoulders coming flying in. Shane Burke stands away from the trouble, however, and puts it beautifully over. It's a lovely score to go with the goal he got after 2 minutes. Dublin trying to physically intimidate him, but he stood away from trouble and found the range beautifully. Waiting for the breaking ball here is Liam Rush. This is a bit more like it from Dublin. This time a perfectly placed ball for Tracy to get onto, to swing around and to swing it over the bar. That's much better by Dublin. Oof, what a take there. That was brilliantly done by Shane McGrath. Got up into the air, delivered it long. Bonner-Marr has it inside to Shane Burke. They're hanging off him, and that is going to be a penalty, I think. He looked to be inside the square. He was, and it is. And that's where Rory Traynor had Shane Burke well and truly caught, even before Alan Nolan came out. Seamus Callanan's going to be the one to take it. Denied a goal earlier on. This time, just before half-time, he gets it. Penalty goal by Seamus Callanan, and it's turned into quite a rout here. And we haven't even reached half-time. It's 3-11 for Tipperary, a mere 6 points for Dublin. Joey Boland giving it back to Sutcliffe. Nearly 34 minutes are gone in this first half. Dublin looking for something before half-time. David O'Callaghan might produce it, and Dotsey has a point, his first of the match. And it's come very late in this opening half. Swings this one in beautifully in towards Ryan O'Dwyer, is now the full forward. Back out it comes via Brendan Marr, out as far as Larcorbett. Little chop down on him there by Liam Rush. Referee says play on. They do. Jason Ford hits it and puts it over the bar. So the better start to the second half is made by Tipperary. Well, the team manager must be very, very happy with the day's work so far. Well caught by David Tracy. Slips it out here as far as Conal Keeney, and Keeney still has work to do just to get the ball under control sufficiently. Back as far as Danny Sutcliffe, trying to make some space for himself. Boland now has the opportunity outside the 45-metre line, and he makes the most of it. So they go score for score, start of the second half, but the margin is still 12. Bonner-Marr eventually breaks down because it goes to Sutcliffe, and Sutcliffe on the rampage. Stopped by Brendan Cummins, showing all his power and agility in goal there to get across, hit it into the ground, and then it bounced up awkwardly for Cummins, who made a very fine stop to deny Dublin. Paul Schutte to begin the counter-attack for Dublin. Shane Durkin down as far as Tracy. 14 players active on the field at the moment for Dublin, as Tracy hits this one from an awkward angle and floats it over the bar. He's got 3 points in this match. The last 2 have come from play. That's got in there dangerously. Paddy Stapleton needs a second touch. Ryan O'Dwyer is after him, and Stapleton eventually able to keep it away from David Tracy. But only as far as Shane Durkin, and Shane Durkin has measured this one beautifully and put it over the bar. That's his first point in this year's Alliance League campaign. And that was the result of a slight clearance there by Paddy Stapleton. Straight to Shane Durkin, and he did the rest. Runs on as far as Seamus Callanan. 2 Dublin players give chase. Make it 3 now, but it's still Callanan, all composed, cool as you like. and a deadly finish.
Agus nish sin chun muid for an heroin bhí dear seachtain a trein alle gus fannacht mo Gardún an teoch deisian is your score eile Tipperary agus an cantin fáitigh dí fáitigh Pá Bork. Dar scoring Pánio man sé tan an tíchas agus an obair agus an obair an cantin búte ag Jason Ford which chu ar a trasán agus sin an Moet makkelijk Lorna Parker agus goalen fáte sin zien maar een goalen nocht en fáte ag Niall McMorrow dat vriend sin agus an roher cho ag nisig daar fantastic stach goedie Pá Bork pass win voor goal wiltje Rasper beach has been over goal daar de she beginning de goedie haar het rest aan
Crohéirí sé Léir Corbett an sin agus cé minic atá sé sin feici ó hús na stratha Léir gimmers chomá a bhí riamh.
Sin agus í fáitigh Patrick Bonner maithar bhfuil sí fáitigh Patrick tá as an airiminis níor se fáil do Rinch Cliffy stratha agus Paul Ryan sin agus a tarrante ar Brendan Maher agus sin an chóngur chu agus imróir in leclin chéile agus naíire ar gá dá laiad le seo. Talking goalbar agus dí glantamach siúd. Mach a dro Niall McMorrow which he fought McMorrow Neil Durkin area Toshi fought McMorrow Nisher Dar Iris McMorrow tarring Shirk Ailinche and pass lava tras with East Durkin Cancho Wola Wuchan Canchin Guskipi gone to rather would go with Wuchan Jazz on Dar score check Shane Durkin. Father the Tipperary Clantamahig Show the Nation Fetler Shaw Crept on the score Shella Fatarashi Black Cleavery Liam Rush and Haboga Susan Parke with Shane Durkin Nish Butch Ishel ag Durkin is raw Danny Sutcliffe agus Gentle Jackson Sutcliffe le Halo Chinna Porrick Maher and Canchin Butch Sutcliffe to she made a goal Goshi Harrit Traston Goshi Harrit Traston Tá Sutcliffe Kerrith score fáitigh go chahail chuide go thbáir.
Agus bhí
Rashis go Ryan McMorrow Rishis on Eile Blackley and Master Machin chance of Bahol and Chin agus an Tarrant Chin agus Tarrant canal fiochor ag be Conor Needig Nixsa sé nor Jimmer Shaw Open Gaydor Machaji Brendan Mahernish. Tá sé nó dúláánna teis ag deire Gary Canchin na chorráid sin Jason Ford an éire lei sé áil níoní air sin Canchin áil sé Durkin chunne leis gaibhlann sin seo chomhad is a déiteach sé. Donna Maher sin déiteach go Jesse Donna Maher siú go dtí Conor Mahoney ó Mahoney agus fan smacht an seohanna sí Cledzenbredar James Woodlock a choiristeach ordanis tá Timmy Hammers deep she's Patrick Mahernish which she fought ag Patrick Maher tá sí fáitigh dar irt Maher Castavallach eile fantastic seach an isú suggestion Tronish ag Timmy Hammers Timmy Castavallach nach níar an chuisiúd beidir láidir go ag Timmy agus í chuní goil Ballach eile tá sí fósigh Mahernish Gachan Canchin bhla dá chomán tá cúpla scór fáitigh Mahers bhfuil scór eile fáte Níl stopan Alan Nolan and Canchin Nolan isteach in the goal Gilliam Connie Woods Clifford Pella Shaachtan is a 9 in the row Hulker isteach in the lead bin Pell so omáint agus
final. It's Tipperary who win by 420 to Dublin's 17 points.
Well, clearly no contest in that semi-final at Semple Stadium. So that's the lineup confirmed for this year's National Hurling League final. It's Tip versus Kilkenny in a fortnight's time. Nolan Park in Kilkenny is the venue. The throw-in is at 3:30. Liam Sheedy, was that a question of Tip were so good, Dublin were so bad, or a little bit of both?
I would say a little bit of both. Tip were very impressive today. You know, they scored 2-3 in the first 10 minutes, really gave themselves a good platform. It was 2-8 to 2 points after 24 minutes. Really, it was game over at that stage. Dublin had 2 subs on the field. There was only one team in it right through. And, you know, fairness to Tipperary, I guess, you know, throughout the league, you know, they went to Galway and they had a big win as well, and they've played clear in the last round of the league and they had a big win, so they have been racking up good scores. And you know, we've seen some familiar faces missing today, so I think Eamon O'Shea have a very, very competitive training ground in the next 2 weeks. You know, Owen Kelly and John O'Brien, John O'Dwyer, Brian O'Meara, all unavailable today among a few. So as I said, it's a really nice place for Tipperary to be in, but you know, Dublin never showed up.
No, and as I said at the beginning, Eddie, like Dublin did have nothing to lose going into that game today. They could have, a lot of people thought, just kind of given it a bit of a go, but that didn't seem to happen for them.
Yeah, you'd imagine today it would have been an ideal opportunity for Dublin to go out and have a cut and kind of get the mood going for the championship. And you know, there's talks of them being down in the Beara Peninsula there doing a bit of heavy training last weekend, and I think they have to put a question over that. You know, last year I felt they got their conditioning wrong, and again today I suppose you have to wonder, you know, the sense in that. I mean, today was a great opportunity, good day, played in strong opposition, great chance to, you know, get a good match under your belt. And it just, I don't know, they just didn't look at the races at all today, which is frustrating, you know, for Anthony Daly as much as anyone else.
Let's have a look at Tipperary. A player actually that we didn't see too much of last year for one reason or another, Eddie, was Seamus Callanan, but he's been playing well this year.
Yeah, I think Seamus came onto the scene under Liam in 2008 and you know, had a good year that year, nominated for an All-Star, was playing at centre forward, but you know, we see now a couple of good scores out of him, and I suppose he's had it up and down for the last couple of years. Last year didn't see any championship action really, and the year before, you know, played in the All-Ireland, but he had a good campaign with his club in 2011, you know, was key for them for the county final, and this is what he really does. You know, he's a great slap on the ball, and for a big fella, he has everything. He has speed, he has loads of skill, well able to strike the ball, and he got a couple, I think 1-7 today. Now he hit a few frees and the penalties, but by and large, just clever all round, and that was the difference with Tip and Dublin today. You know, see Jason Ford there tapping down a nice ball, and Seamus Callanan putting down the gas, and you know, 3 Dublin defenders there couldn't get near him. So I suppose in the absence, we mentioned the absence of the certain Tipperary players today. Seamus Callanan is a fella that